Hello, I'm Shannon, and I wanted to send a fan letter slash video to one of my favorite bands. That band would be Escape the Fate. I have been a fan for almost 6 years now, and that's a really, really long time. I mean, that's freshman year in high school. I'm mainly making this video because there's no way for me to contact them. Anyways, but to any fan that wants to listen, to any fan that agrees with me, this is for you. Anyone else that disagrees, I'm sorry, but this is what I think, and you're just gonna have to respect that. It's really difficult because the Escape the Fate fan base is completely divided now. It's really hard to talk to Escape the Fate fans because you always have to ask Ronnie or Craig, and then you'll have three answers. You'll have Ronnie all the way, Craig sucks, or you'll get Craig all the way, Ronnie sucks, or you'll get, oh, I like both of them, but for different reasons. I was the group in the middle. When I was 15, I started a MySpace website for Escape the Fate. It's still up there, but I don't maintain it anymore. I don't even remember how to log into it, so I'm not going to tell you what it is because I just don't want to. It's really old. I mean, Escape the Fate was everything to me. I saw them in 2007 on the Black on Black tour, and it was about 2 or 3 days after Omar left. Some of the newer fans probably don't even know who he is, so shame on you. And some don't even know who Carson is. Shame on you. No, just kidding. Carson was a long time ago. The thing that I really wanted to make this video for is that everything is so open-ended with this band. From the get-go, all the way back to 2007, they were going to tour with, I think, The Secret Handshake and Hawthorne Heights. The first show, they didn't even show up. And then that's when Casey Calvert died. R.I.P. He just died in his sleep, so at least he died peacefully. But Escape the Fate still didn't show up, so a lot of rumors were going around that they were breaking up and everything. That was the time when Max was putting his number online to sell merchandise so that they could make some money since they weren't touring. And so I decided, since I had my website, that I would call him and interview him. And he was very specific with how he wanted me to word stuff. He didn't want to reveal any information because it really was up in the air at that point. But then one night I decided to just call him and just ask, and ask away. I'm not really going to share what he said, and plus it was a long time ago and I don't remember half the stuff he told me. But we talked on the phone for like 40 minutes and it was really cool. But another thing I want to talk about is what happened with Escape the Fate and Ronnie, okay? I'm just going to be straight up. Sorry for those that like Falling in Reverse and everything and love Ronnie. I mean, I love Ronnie, but I don't really like Falling in Reverse. Sorry. I will say that Ronnie was a druggie and he was an asshole. He was not nice. He chose who he wanted to be nice to. And I met him when I was 15 and he wasn't very nice to me. I could blame the drugs. I could possibly do that. I don't know. But I still hold this grudge against Ronnie for being such a douchebag when I met him. Ronnie was holding Escape the Fate back, not only for his behavior, being kicked out of venues and all that kind of stuff, but he was on a parole because of something that happened in, I think, like 2004. He was defending a friend. Rumor has it that it was Max's girlfriend, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me. But I know it was someone that, Ronnie was defending. And so him and a friend were going to beat up this guy. I don't remember what the guy's name was, but if you look it up, it's online and things. So him and Ronnie went to go beat this guy up. Little did Ronnie know that his friend brought a gun. Ronnie brought brass knuckles, to beat his ass, not to kill him. So his friend shot him and left him there. Ronnie got charged with battery and intention to harm because he was armed with the brass knuckles. So he got charged for battery and being armed, not for killing a guy. They said that Ronnie was put in prison for killing a guy. And it's like, no, that's not it. Ronnie was put in jail because he got caught with drugs. That whole armed battery assault charged prevented him from touring outside of the country. And then once he got caught with drugs, that was when it got really tough. And he was only allowed in Nevada. He had a parole officer. Ronnie jumped parole and went to California. And so there was a warrant for him for like 3 days, I think. He was on the news and all that. And then they caught him. It was like June 15th or something like that. And that was in 2008. So he was in prison for jumping parole, for not peeing in a cup, whatever. He jumped parole. That's why he was in prison. And he could complain and be like, oh, this is so dumb. I was in prison and for jumping parole. And it's like, it's the law. Okay? And a lot of you were like, oh, free Ronnie, he doesn't deserve to be in there. Yes, he did. He broke the law, and that's where you go when you break the law. Okay? There's no justifying that, okay? There's no exception to the rule, okay? Just because Ronnie is a singer in a band doesn't make him any different than anybody else. He serves the same charges. So he was in prison for 3 years, I think. And then he got out, and now he's in Falling in Reverse, and they're already blowing up because of all the stuff they did while he was in prison, still promoting the band and still writing and all that. So, I mean, bravo to him for being able to clean up and continue his career without Escape the Fate. However, I have a complete video for Escape the Fate. This band is just insane. They don't tell the fans anything. I understand that it's probably due to their label or their management, and they don't want chaos. But the thing is that, you know, Max went up and left. Max isn't in the band anymore. And according to Facebook, I saw Kevin Thrasher, and apparently he's replaced Monte, or Brian, as I used to call him. So basically, if that's the case, then the original member is Robert. Out of all the members, it's Robert. That's pretty surprising for me. To me, Escape the Fate, as far as knowing the direction to go, was Max and Ronnie. And so when Ronnie left, it was left with Max. And I think Max has a drug problem. He's been in and out of rehab. And so I guess Escape the Fate was tired of his crap. And so either they kicked him out or he left. He said, screw you guys, I'm giving him. So he went home. So I have no idea what to think of Escape the Fate right now. It's Craig Mabbitt, Robert Ortiz, Kevin Thrasher, and TJ Bell, ex-guitarist of Motionless in White. I think Kevin Thrasher was in Love a Hero. I saw him on the Black on Black tour. So all these guys are now Escape the Fate. And it's weird to me because it's not Escape the Fate. It's not Escape the Fate. I'm being totally serious. I'm not one of those fans that are like, oh, it's not Escape Fate anymore, be without Ronnie. While that was true, you know, the music changed a lot. They worked with John Feldman, who was a lot lighter than, he had a more of a lighter genre, I guess you could say, than Dying Latest Fashion. And then when their self-titled came out, it was definitely not like the last album and definitely not like Dying Latest Fashion. I'm not saying it in an ignorant way. I'm just saying that it's not the band that I fell in love with. It is not the band that helped me avoid depression. It is not the band that made me feel like I belonged, that I felt understood and everything. I don't know. I have bands that I like, I have bands that I love, but this is a band I'm going to love for the rest of my life because of what they did for me. But as far as where they're going now with music, I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be awesome. I'm sure they're going to sell out arenas and they're going to be huge. But I can't keep my heart with the band because it's not the same. And if it's not the same, then I can't dedicate my time to it. I listen to Dying Years Latest Fashion. I hear those first little drums in the intro of The Webs We Weave, and I start taking off like a bird, and then the double guitar comes in and I'm just soaring. And then once the ballads come in, I'm starting to tear up and I just cry because I have such an emotional attachment to this band. I will never be able to find another band that gives me the same chills and the same aching in my chest. It's nostalgic, it's emotional. I listen to this album, I literally go on a journey of my past and of my present and of my future. It's deep stuff when I listen to this. So I'm not a fake fan, but as a fan that's been around for a while, who supported Craig through all of the crap and the shit talk that people had against him, because I loved Craig in Bless the Fall, and I think he's a great vocalist and he's awesome. So I didn't have a problem with him coming into Escape the Fate, even though it wasn't Ronnie. But at this point, when the only original member is Robert, when all the pieces of the band are being broken up, that's when it becomes a different band. I can't calculate how this is Escape the Fate. This is not Escape the Fate. TJ, Kevin, Craig, and Robert. That's not Escape the Fate to me. It's not. They say that members don't matter, but they do, because the way a certain person plays will reflect on how the album is represented. You know, once you make that EP and you make that LP and the full-length album, that is already set into the fan's mind of how you're going to sound. And so when that drastically changes, you lose fans, or the fan base is split. Old ETF and new ETF. But one final message for Escape the Fate. I wish you guys would talk to us more. I wish you guys would be more honest. I wish that I didn't have to stay up really late at night during Thanksgiving break to try to figure out what the hell was going on with you guys. Even Christmas break, I was, just desperately trying to figure out what was going on. I felt every emotion with this band. I got called obsessed. I got called, a fangirl and a groupie, and I was none of those things. I found a band that understood me, and that kind of stuff sticks with you forever. Sincerely, from a beloved fan, good luck.